And we're live, and live as it can be. We're going to try this again. I did this about 10, 20 minutes ago, and apparently I had some microphone issues, and so we should be good now. So, again, to welcome back to the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous one from New York City, the ultimate one. And today we're going to be talking about two topics that happened on Wednesday. One, the CM Punk situation where he pretty much supposedly dropped a so-called pipe bomb, and Kenny Omega's return. And was he 100%? We're going to be talking about that as we continue on here on this episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Welcome again. I am live and whatnot. So once this is the great thing about being live, because when you do live, you can't, you're going to make mistakes or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you got to go on with the show, as you can say. Well, let's talk really right now about what happened at AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. Number one, we saw the return of Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega, if you guys saw AEW Dynamite, he was part of the third member of the Young Bucks. The Elite are back together, and they were part of the Trios Titles Tournament to go against La Facción Ingobernables. The ending of the match was very interesting, and what they did, La Facción did afterwards. So we're going to be talking about that very little about it. But the main thing is Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega made his return after being out of wrestling since November, since he lost the AEW title to Hangman Page at Full Gear, and there was a host of injuries and medical condition that he dealt with, and he's been dealing with for 8-9 months. As you guys well know, he lost the belt, and then after he lost the belt, then he had to give up the Mega Champion, the AAA title, and whatnot. He had a forfeit. The guy's been in the injured list for 8-9 months. He had vertigo. He said he'd been wrestling with vertigo since 2018. He had a host injury, knee injury, back injuries, all kinds of injury. The guy's been wrestling hard since 2015, 2016, when he became the cleaner in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And his matches with Okada were classics. His match against Naito were classic. This man won the G1 Climax. That tournament is brutal as it is for any wrestler, and he won that, I believe it was 2016, 2017, maybe 2016, and he won that, and he kept going at 100 miles per hour once AEW Dynamite was formed, or AEW was formed, and then he went on to win the tag team belts, the AEW tag team belts with Hangman Page. He ended up winning the AEW World title from John Moxley. So the guy's been going 100%, or not 100 miles if you could think about it. Then he ended up winning the Impact World title. He had the Mega Champion. This guy was collecting belts everywhere. And it came to a crashing halt this past November, and he was in the injuries list. He made his return this past Wednesday at AEW Dynamite because the Young Bucks have asked Hangman Page to be the third member to create the Elite. Hangman Page ended up rejecting the offer for the Young Bucks, and you knew right then and then that when Hangman Page said no, that he was going to support his Dark Order friends, and he was even in the Trios tournament. Right there told you that Kenny Omega was going to make his return. He made his return this past Wednesday, and all of a sudden, this is the great part of being live. I just got a message through the messenger. But he came and he became showed up, and he was not at 100%. You could clearly see that he had like a shoulder I don't know what you call a sling, to make sure that his shoulder doesn't get separated. He did a couple of moves that he usually, when he was at full strength, will do. There's a part where he kind of grabbed the guy in a fireman's position. He throws himself shoulder first, lands on the ropes and does and moonsault, and he missed it. So he wasn't at 100% and whatnot. So that kind of showed you right there that he came too quick. He came back too quick. And Facción Ingobernables, they're no slouch. These guys, we're talking about Dragon Lee, Rush, and Andrade. And this was a hard match. You could tell that he was feeling the pain, or that even though the Young Bucks won the match, you could tell that he was hurting. He was hurting bad. Was he coming back too quick? Yes, he came back too quick. I think because he feels that there's so many injuries in AEW, and then with all this drama going on at the same time, he needed to come back. With that being said, if you guys also saw, which is not part of what I wanted to talk about, but you also saw as La Facción ended up betraying Dragon Lee as Rush betrayed his own brother. I mean, that was crazy. I guess because he shook hands with Kenny Omega, and after the match, you saw Kenny Omega talking to Dragon Lee. They did not like it. So that's the story on that part. We could see probably a Dragon Lee, and maybe Dragon Lee just showed up for that night. That's it. They're probably going to bring somebody else as part of the Facción. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I know Andrade is not happy with AEW, so there's a lot of problems, which leads me pretty much to what I want to talk about, and leads me to the drama that happened also on Wednesday night. CM Punk. CM Punk showed up last week to help Jon Moxley against the Jericho Appreciation Society after Jon Moxley defeated Chris Jericho in an AEW title match, and which led off a confrontation between CM Punk and Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley pretty much flipped him off, gave him the middle finger, and we thought that, oh, okay, so CM Punk came back. Is he medically cleared to show up? Or not even show up, but is he medically cleared to even wrestle? Because, you know, he had a foot injury after he won the belt at AEW Double or Nothing against Hangman Page. He shows up this week. He tells the fans that he forgot how it feels to get cheered and all that. But then he went and took an ugly turn. And the ugly turn was when the man started talking about, first he started talking about Jon Moxley and how Jon Moxley is the third best wrestler in a group. And he talking about Comeback Club, the Comeback Club or the Combat Pool Club, whatever they call it, the Blackpool Combat Club. Basically saying that Bryan Danielson and Cesaro, or whatever his name is now, is the better wrestler than Jon Moxley. He even said he probably was the third best wrestler in a group, which also talk about the Shield. And, because not Moxley, but CM Punk walks around thinking that he was the guy who created the Shield, which, he could say it because when he was the world champion and Paul Heyman was managing him back in 2012, and he was in that feud against, I believe was The Rock, the Shield attacked The Rock. I remember that clearly. And that was the beginning of the Shield. He still thinks he gets, credit for that. But once he said that, then he mentioned also about, before he mentioned the Chicago situation, he mentioned Hangman Page. He called out Hangman Page, talking about, let's see if you got your cowboy shit. People started chanting cowboy shit. And Hangman never showed up, never came out. So basically what CM Punk did was he got off the script. He wasn't supposed to call out Hangman Page. He called out Hangman Page, and Cole said that Hangman Page just did coward shit. Now, according to reports, Hangman Page is well liked in the back. He's not confrontational. He doesn't talk much or whatever. He doesn't, everybody likes him. What I'm seeing from CM Punk is, when I saw that, I was like, okay, what is his problem? He came in like with a chip on his shoulder. Then he said that when he faces Jon Moxley, that is how ironic it's going to be in Chicago, and he will be the second John he beats in Chicago, mentioning John Cena in 2012 when he beat John Cena for the WWE belt. When I saw this, I said, okay, what is all this about? Basically, after that, Jon Moxley confronted him, he kind of like made fun of John Moxley taking forever to come in the ring. He said, I'm about to do Snow Angels. He was on the floor. Next thing you know, him and Moxley confronted each other. Words were exchanged, and then they started walloping each other. Security came in. And again, they were already announcing that the interim world champion, John Moxley, will face the world champion, CM Punk, at All Out. But apparently, during the show, Moxley came out again calling out CM Punk, said, "Why we got to wait to All Out? Let's do it tonight." CM Punk came out, and they both started going at each other again. Then they announced that this match was going to happen next week, which will be this Wednesday coming up. Now, I was like, okay, this is weird. Why is this? It's like, it was hot. It was a lot of heat going on. The next day, reports came in that CM Punk was pissed off over a promo from 3 months ago. 3 months ago. I want you to understand that. 3 months ago, when they were building the match between Hangman Page and CM Punk for the world title for Double or Nothing. Apparently, CM Punk claims that Hangman Page went into business for himself and said something in one of the promos that he didn't like. Mentioned something about Colt Cabana. And then CM Punk didn't like that. Now, my thing is, CM Punk right now, we're in August. This happened 3 months ago. You still dwelling over some bullshit that happened 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand it. You're already the world champion. You sound to me like you was frustrated because you got injured and you wasn't able to defend your world title, and now you're not in the picture. You come back, you call out Hangman Page for no apparent reason, okay? And Hangman Page, after he lost the belt, he said he knew he wasn't going to get another world title shot. He went after Jay White's belt, or he wanted to wrestle Okada, and he ended up wrestling Okada in a four-way with the IWGP World Title on the line, which included Adam Cole and Jay White. And CM Punk is home with a broken foot. So you come back 3 months later and you're bitching about a freaking promo that happened 3 months ago, and you're gonna call out the man knowing that he doesn't even know what to do. Well, John Silver claims that he was in the back and catering, eating. Others claim that he wasn't even in the building. And even if he was in the building, what's Hangman Page going to do? He can't come out and confront CM Punk because that's not part of the damn promo. So to me, it seems to me that CM Punk, and I blame this on Tony Khan, because Tony Khan has allowed all these WWE guys, they used to be WWE guys, he's like hugging them and, oh my God, he's being a fan instead of, and he's being a damn mark, to be honest. So CM Punk is his top guy, so he's letting this guy do whatever the hell he wants. Meanwhile, there's also reports that there's a division between former WWE guys and the AEW main guys. Is this true or not? And I mean, this is coming from Wrestling Observer, which comes from Dave Meltzer. Do anybody believe what Dave Meltzer says? Let's be realistic. But anyway, and AEW has had a lot of drama. A lot of drama in the last couple of months. First, it was MJF. There was a lot of issue there. MJF has not come back. There's reports that he may come back. He may come back at All Out. He may be the guy whoever comes out of the winning the damn belt this past Wednesday is the one going to challenge for the world title. Is this all a ruse? Is this a shoot? Are they tricking the fans thinking that there is beef between Hangman Page and CM Punk in real life? Or that they just, because, fans, they just want to make noise, But if there is really beef between CM Punk and Hangman Page, CM Punk needs to grow the fuck up. Because you're complaining about something that happened 3 months ago. You're the world champion. What should you care what happened 3 months ago? You're still the world champion. You know what I'm saying? And they might give you the belt. They might give you may go over John Moxley and keep the world title. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. To me, it's CM Punk a cancer in the locker room now, because the way he went out on this promo this past Wednesday. I mean, the word is nobody knew that he was going to do that. So he went off script. So if you go off script, you know, you do this shit in WWE, you might get fired. You might not even be on TV. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny how now, I say about 6 months ago was WWE with all the crazy stuff going on, whatever, and now the tide has changed, and now it's AEW, and it all started with MJF. But actually, it all started with Cody leaving the company, then MJF, and now this. So it means to me that Tony Khan has no control of what is going on behind the locker room, and if he don't fix this very quickly, there's going to be issues, and AEW could be losing a lot of sponsorship, could be losing a lot of stuff, and you know, and they're not, you know, everything is going out of control now with this Warner and Discovery merger. You know, you don't know what you're going to get. We could be seeing another WCW closing down or whatever. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. The only thing that saves right now, AEW, which I probably won't see it happening, is that New Japan is still working with them. So, you know, that's a lot of money involved. But I don't get it as far as CM Punk and what he did this past Wednesday. I mean, but again, I blame it on Tony Khan. You know, when Cesaro came in to AEW, he was over here hugging him like a mark. I mean, like, and there's things that Tony Khan is doing right now that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's not normal. It's not normal. This guy needs you talking about you're the Book of the Year. I mean, I don't know who the fuck came out with that, award, Book of the Year, please. I mean, I give him credit. He knows how to put good matches together. But as far as everything now, you're losing control. There's too many egos, and it's, you know, so I said, too many Chiefs, no Indians, and that's the problem right now. You know, you got guys in there that they're gonna do whatever they want. And, you know, right now, like the same thing. You let Jericho do whatever he wants. You know, what we came up with this Jericho Appreciation Society group, which is, I mean, it's winning me over little by little. But you know, you let wrestlers take control of what's going on in the wrestling business, especially in a wrestling company. That's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a big time problem. If they haven't learned from WCW, well, start learning and start reading the book, The Rise and Fall of WCW, because that's what happened. The inmate ran the asylum, and that became a problem. And now WCW is not here 20-something years later. So, you know, Tony Khan needs to fix this situation. And if you feel that you got to punish CM Punk, then don't give him the belt. Have Jon Moxley beat him this Wednesday and let him defend the belt at All Out. And if MJF comes back and he gets the title shot, let MJF win the belt. That's it. You know, and then everybody will see it as, you know, hey, that was a good move. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That is it for me today, guys. Again, if you want to follow me, you can follow me here at Facebook, of course. I'm Facebook Live right now. Follow me on Facebook at the Chokeslam Wrestling Report page. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter. You can also check out my YouTube channel if you guys want to check out some of the contents I have there. And hit that bell for notification, and hit that thumbs up for, you know, to show me love. If you guys also want to check out the my merchandise store, you can go and check this out. My shirt, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report shirt. This is only $20. I got other shirts involved in there. I got hoodies. I got hats. So again, tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com, and you can check it out and order your shirt. In there, you'll go also check out. Got the link for my YouTube video. You got the link for the audio podcast. Check out my audio podcast on Sundays. I talk about what's going on in wrestling, doing the stuff that happened through the week. I may have a follow-up, a piggyback on this tomorrow on my audio podcast that is in Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and other major audio platforms that you guys like to listen to your favorite show. Until then, guys, be safe, be well, and I will see you guys next week.